I call the City Council meeting for March 26, 2025 to order, led by Student Government Day.
City Clerk Noel, could we get a roll call?
Mayor Cosgrove and George.
Present.
Assistant Mayors Bourne and Corrado.
Present.
Councillor Hooper.
Present.
Councillor Milne.
Present.
Councillor Delaney.
Present.
Councillor McGrath.
Present.
Councillor Raja.
Present.
Councillor Dimitrik.
Present.
I now have the invocation. I'd like everybody to please join in a moment of silence. Today we'll be honoring the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory. And if you would now stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now our proclamation. On the 25th day of March 1911, the infamous shirtwaist factory fire in New York City claimed the lives of 147 young workers due to unsafe working conditions. Francis Perkins, along with other outraged citizens of New York, became active in local politics that day. Perkins worked to ensure safe working conditions first in New York City. She later went on to become the first woman in the President's cabinet as the Secretary of Language. I, Mayor of the City of Portsmouth, on behalf of the members of the City Council and citizens of Portsmouth, do hereby proclaim March 25th to be Shirtwaist Remembrance Day in honor of all citizens who act locally and nationally for the safety of ordinary citizens.
Is there a motion to accept and approve the minutes of the April 12, 2024 Student Government Day City Council meeting?
Move to accept and approve the minutes of April 12th, 2024 Student Government Day City Council meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All opposed?
Next, we're going to move on to recognitions and volunteer committee reports. So we'd like to recognize Portsmouth High School's teachers, Heather Wheeler and Michelle Wheeler, and Portsmouth City staff for assisting in the preparation of Student Government Day and for making this opportunity possible. So thank you.
Additionally, before public comment, we'd like to make it known that we're amending the times to 1 minute just so we can make sure we can fit everybody in, as well as that PHS students are counted as Portsmouth residents for the purpose of this. So with that, we'll begin public comment. We would like to call Rich Blaylock up to public comment, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Mayor, Assistant Mayor, City Councilors, City Attorney, City Manager, City Clerk. My name is Rich Blaylock. I reside at 922 Greenland Road in Portsmouth. I'm here tonight simply to thank all of you for signing up to participate in Student Government Day. You guys are our future. Our future looks bright. But we can organize this day, but if you guys don't show up and participate, it doesn't mean much. So I just want to thank all of you, and go Clippers.
Thank you, Mr. Blaylock. Next, I'd like to call Beth Moreau to the stand. Yeah? to something.
Maybe the podium would be better. Exactly. Good afternoon. My name is Beth Moreau. I reside at 81 Langdon Street here in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. And on your agenda in just a little bit is going to be talking about co-living. As a member of the planning board, we've actually taken a look at this and we're bringing it forward to council. And we'd really like to have a robust discussion about not only co-living, where it actually should take place. Should it just be the downtown? Should it be outside the downtown? Should we have parking requirements, and what should those be? All of them are in it, but I'd really like to have your input and get your support to move co-living and hopefully even expand it down the road. Thank you.
Thank you, Beth. Next, we'd like to call up Karen Kennard.
Hi, my name is Karen Conrad. I much prefer to be on this side of the dais and the podium, I think. I live on Kate Street, and I'm a proud resident of the city. And I think in the same way that the school board has a student representative, I think it would be great for the city council to do the same thing, because if based on the talent alone in this room today is any indication of what we have for talent within our high school, I think it would be great to have a student with a voice on the council. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Connard. I'd like to call Kate Cook.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Assistant Mayor, and councilors. I'm Kate Cook, and I live at 17 Hunking Street. I noticed that Councilor McGrath is introducing a proposal to look at bollards downtown and closing streets in the busy summer season. As someone who has served on the Market Square task force this last year, I would encourage you to support this proposal. I think it's really important for us to think about innovative ways to support businesses downtown and to support people coming downtown. Thank you.
Thank you, Kate. Now I'd like to call Henry, Patrick, and Sam, please.
Henry Highland.
Sam Middle, Portsmouth High School.
My name is Patrick Tichy. I go to Portsmouth High.
And
All right, so basically, our proposal. First of all, I want to say thank you to the mayor, assistant mayor, and other councilors. And we're going to be talking about the ice rink that I guess most people are talking about right now. All right, Bill, let's see it.
Grew up watching hockey. Played a little hockey on the ice, around in the pond, around Rye. Very important to me, and I'd love to see a rink here at Portsmouth High School.
Yeah. All right, Henry, do you have anything to add?
I mean, yeah, we all play puck. We'd love to see a rink that we can spend some time playing puck on. So yeah, that'd be great.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Henry, Patrick, and Sam. Next, I'd like to call Kirsten and Sabian to up, just to
Out for public comment.
out for public comment, not to the stands. Okay.
All right. Good afternoon, Mayor, Assistant Mayor, and fellow councilors. My name is Kirsten Dressler, and I'm from Portsmouth High School, and I'm the Recreation Director today. I would like to discuss the following proposal: developing an outdoor calisthenics gym here at South Mill Pond Park in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. My idea is to incorporate push-up bars, a pull-up station, a dip bench, monkey bars, parallel bars, and plyometric boxes. This would greatly improve the strength, coordination, and flexibility of citizens here in Portsmouth, and this is targeted towards teenagers and adults, whereas if we put kind of a parkour-oriented area as well at the park, this could be targeted towards kids. This would be a game changer for people who have an active lifestyle, prefer to work outside, desire a convenient location to do bodybuilding exercises, and want options to strengthen their bodies while simultaneously becoming more flexible and functional. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kirsten, for your comment. Next, I'd like to call Stella Whitehouse, please.
Thank you very much. Today, I'm Stella Whitehouse, and I go to Portsmouth High School. Today, I shadowed the assistant superintendent. However, I will not be speaking as the assistant superintendent. I'm speaking as a concerned student, and I would like to make a public comment about the issues we are facing with our curriculum at Portsmouth High School. While I understand the issue of budget cuts, we must remain resilient in our ideas about supporting our students through the struggles they face in their teenage years. Growing up in this online generation where expressing emotion has become a norm and among teenagers struggling, whether it's with mental health, parental issues, drugs, vaping, smoking, or alcohol addiction, homelessness, or any social or emotional issue that may concern or disrupt a student's learning, We need to find a solution that allows them to get the help they need with the assistance of guidance counselors. While guidance counselors do have a part in supporting them, we need to help them create an environment where students feel like they can trust them, because it is currently dislooked upon by students to speak to their guidance counselors. However, we need to find a way that students can trust their guidance counselors and feel if they have any issues that they will be supported and they will have emotional assistance to better increase their educational opportunities. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Stella. Next up is Francois.
Thank you, Judge. I'd like to thank the mayor, the assistant mayor, and all the council members. Today, I'll be discussing as not only your library director, but also as a student. Now, on Friday, March 14th, the White House had issued the elimination of the Institute for Museum and Library, or which I will discuss as the IMLS, which is the nation's only federal agency for libraries, and they fund not only the Portsmouth Public Libraries interlibrary loans, but also our ebooks as well, and they provide funds to state libraries and library museums and archive programs, all that being like 0.003% of the federal budget. This also includes software, administrative staff, and van drivers. And in 2024, the Portsmouth Public Library has borrowed over 2,700 materials from other libraries, including the Libby app, which you all may have used, which is statewide, and it includes ebooks, audio magazines, and other such. And we've borrowed 17,000 from them. And because of IMLS being now defunded, or the possibility of it being defunded, we would lose 1/4 of the library statistics of lenders, as through statistics that I've gained, that it's 88,000 out of our 350,000 yearly. And now I'd also say that for interlibrary loans, I, as a student, have made so many interlibrary loans that I can't even keep count. And with that, I was able to push myself through my classes and be here today. And I say that I'm here to propose that with your aid, that you can send your messages down to Congress and help the IMLS not be defunded. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Francois. Now, Nora Blakely for public comment.
Hi, thank you. I'm Nora Blakey of Portsmouth, and I'll be speaking as Chief of School Board and also as a student. Student Government Day is a day intended to promote experiential learning for students to understand how their local government works, from the council to the school department. As a member of the school board, we would like to thank the city staff, city councilors, and school leaders for giving their time to this. We especially want to thank City Manager Canard and City Clerk Barnaby for all their work that went into making this happen, and we would like to acknowledge all the hard work from student participants. Today, we wanted to make you aware the school board will be considering participants of Student Government Day receive 0.25 elective credit in the future, likely through the Extended Learning Opportunity Program. The ELO program has at its heart the mission of deepening the learning and rigor students experience. It allows them to take advantage of real-world opportunities where they can engage in meaningful applications of knowledge. As a former participant in Student Government Day last year, I learned firsthand the value of individual participation in local government. It was there that I came to understand the impact a person can make in their own community by using their voice. This is why this opportunity is so important and also a very enjoyable experience. So don't be surprised if school board members reach out to you to ask you about your insights about today's learning experience, and I thank you for your time.
Wonderful. Thank you, Nora. Next up is Beckett McKenna.
Good afternoon, Mayor, councilors, and city staff. My name is Becca McKenna, and I am a student at Portsmouth High School. I bring before you today a proposal to make downtown parking free for residents of Portsmouth. According to the city's own data, residents only make up 4% of parking revenue. And to cover this small loss, you could increase rates for non-residents. So you would still be getting the same amount of parking revenue, but residents would not have to pay for parking. My reasoning behind this was this will increase the economic impact that our own residents will have on retail and restaurants, et cetera, downtown, because they won't have to worry about paying for parking / like finding a meter or yeah, anything like that. And it will help get residents more involved in the community. So I just think I urge you to consider this proposal because I feel like it would be a very good idea if residents would have free parking downtown. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now Hugh Gatchell, please.
Hello, my name is Hugh Gatchell. I go to Portsmouth High School. I wanted to talk about the Historic District Commission, which I wanted to just support the movement that Councilor Delaney is making later about restricting the purview of the Historic District Commission, because there's specifically been a lot of recent buildings that have been not designed in a manner that I would say particularly fits Portsmouth super well and is very tasteful. And mainly it's because there's a few architecture firms that are becoming larger because their services that they're providing are mainly to design a building that's going to get approved by the Historic District Commission rather than designing a building that looks nice, fits in Portsmouth, and is really well suited for the needs of its tenants. So basically, just by restricting that to only old buildings, you're actually not, I guess, changing anything. So like you're keeping the buildings that are old and historic and beautiful the way they are, but you're not just causing problems with a building that's just being built that is on previously unused land. But thank you.
Thank you, Hugh Gatchell. Last but definitely not least, we have Anthony Smith.
Hello, I'm Anthony Smith. I am from Portsmouth High School as well, and I am the Public Works Director. And I would like to emphatically approve of Councilor Milne's motion on trees. And I would just like to raise the issue of funding for this and say that we can either use taxpayer dollars or bonds, but either way, this project will need significant funding and investment to truly make a meaningful dent, I guess. And also, we would like to make sure long term that maybe where we plant these trees, we're not planning to sort of if we want these trees to be around for obviously a really long time. So we want to make sure that these trees aren't going to be in anywhere that we plan to build or plan to have the drains or anything go through, so we don't have to uproot them in the future. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Anthony. That concludes public comment, and now we're going to move on to public hearings and vote on ordinances and/or resolutions.
I'll be reading the first ordinance. First reading of ordinance amendment on zoning ordinance, Chapter 10, Article 8, Section 10815, co-living. Move to pass first reading and hold a public hearing and second reading at the April 21st, 2025 council meeting. Does anyone second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against?
Yes, Councilor Raja.
Mayor, I'd like to suspend the rules and bring forth the topics under my name to discuss the co-living amendments.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. So the motion is to move to amend the co-living ordinance to include sober living homes into the co-living ordinance, which is, so the co-living ordinance is to help with having people in the houses and shared resources, and I want to include sober living homes with that.
Okay, so actually, I'm sorry to pause you. We are going to vote right now. Yes, correct? Oh, yes, vote to suspend the rules. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Any opposed?
Aye.
Nay. Nay.
Okay, this passes. Please continue.
You can go ahead. You're good.
Okay. So this is a motion to move to amend the co-living ordinance to include sober living homes. And also to report back on the survey from Chamber of Commerce regarding co-living. So the survey is with 4 questions about co-living. So are you familiar with the concept for the question of if they're familiar with the concept of co-living? 98% of respondents confirmed that they were familiar with co-living. And also when asked about if they agree that co-living is a desirable way to create a more affordable housing options, overall 78% of respondents agreed that shared co-living was a desirable way to create more affordable housing options for downtown. Among downtown businesses, 77% of respondents agreed that shared co-living was a desirable way. Among other businesses, 86% had agreed. When asked if they agree or disagree that co-living units would be an added benefit to Portsmouth's downtown culture, overall 76% agreed. Among downtown businesses, 77% had agreed. And among other businesses, 79% had also agreed. And then with the last question, when asked if co-living units were within a short walk from public parking garage, if they would agree that no parking requirement is appropriate, overall, 68% had agreed that no parking requirement is appropriate. Among downtown businesses, 64% had agreed, and among other businesses, 85% had agreed.
Thank you. Any more for discussion? All right, we'll move to voting. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, now we'll move on to the city manager's action items. Firstly, the city manager will report back regarding the 2-day event hosted by IAPP.
So today I convened a meeting with representatives from police, fire, public works, legal, economic and community development, communications, parking, health, and inspections to discuss a 2-day event for the IAPP from June 25th to June 26th, 2025. We discussed the need for street closure on Chestnut Street from 8 to 4 both days. Legal shared with the IAPP representatives that the cost to permit and close this would be $195.50 per day, which is a number based on 5 cents per square foot of the street. There would be permits required for this. There would need to be permits for tents, A-frame signs, and a permit of assembly. There's no permit needed for the food caterer, and it is possible that the alcohol caterer would need a permit. IAPP was reminded to keep pedestrian access on one side of Chestnut Street at all times because this is a private event. There still needs to be pedestrian access through the street. This is the 3rd year of the event, and it's the largest as IAPP is celebrating its 25th anniversary. There may be a possible speaking opportunity for the mayor and myself as part of an opening and welcoming remarks.
Thank you. Now if you would report back regarding events requiring street closures.
All right. So the government's committee is taking up this issue with support from the legal, planning, and public works departments in an effort to streamline the permitting and availability of areas in a uniform manner. We will continue to advocate for events that require streets while balancing the needs of public safety.
And next, we will talk about ratification of the collective bargaining agreement between the City of Portsmouth and the participants of Student Government Day.
For this, I would like to call Human Resource Director Luke Boynton to the stand or the podium to discuss this matter.
Thank you all. Today we bring up the topic of everybody, all students getting a free $10,000, and this money is raised through private funding from the company Health Trust. and we believe it will bring great happiness to everybody and a sense of enjoyment of living in this community. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I'd like to move to ratify the union agreement as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
Never mind. All right. Now we'll move on to the consent agenda. First, a letter from John. Move to accept the consent agenda first.
Motion to adopt the consent agenda.
All in favor?
Second. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right.
Sure. All right, so starting with a letter from Jody Sekris, Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, requesting permission to hold the CF Cycle for Life on Saturday, July 12th, 2025. Move to refer to the city manager with authority to act.
Any second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Next, a letter from Jonathan Day, Portsmouth Halloween Parade, requesting permission to hold the 30th Portsmouth Halloween Parade on Friday, October 30th. I move to refer to the city manager.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
All right, next we're moving on to presentations and written communications. This is an email correspondence, so I move to accept and place on file.
Any second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, now we'll move on. Mayor George, I'll be passing the gavel. Here you go. I'm requesting to establish a work session with the school board regarding community service. Move to establish. Oh, wait. Okay, no. Move to establish a work session with the school board on May 5th, 2025 at 6 p.m. prior to regular city council meeting. And then.
Second.
Okay.
Discussion?
Yeah.
Your Honor.
Discussion. Yeah. So I believe that community service should be a vital part of our school curriculum. We already have a couple classes that include it as a requirement, such as ecology. I believe it's 5 hours as of last that I remember. However, I believe that community service should cover all subject matters in school. It doesn't just refer to a specific subject. And so for those reasons, I believe that we should try and incorporate it more into our school curriculum, because you can be anybody and still give back to your community, and you can do so in many different manners. So, yeah.
Yes.
Just as a comment, with the work session with school board, you may also want to include the curriculum director from the high school to determine if they can add that in the courses.
Thank you, Counselor.
I'd also like to add that at similar schools around the area, such as Marshwood, around, I'd say, don't quote me on this, 60 hours of community service is required for graduation. And I believe that implementing a similar item to the curriculum would be really beneficial to students, especially getting them experiences in the community.
All right, thank you. So now we have to vote.
Any other discussion? Okay. Not, we'll call it to question. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Gavel back.
Next, we're on city council members. So Assistant Mayor Bourne and Assistant Mayor Crotta. We are now at the portion of your portion of the agenda.
So I would like to make a motion to make all government group chats on WhatsApp.
Second.
Well, oh wait, no discussion. Oh, can I say something?
Yeah, after.
Discussion. So I believe that WhatsApp is an essential platform to communicate, as I believe we need consistency with our platforms. As right now, there's many ways of communication between government, and I believe everything needs to be streamlined into one localized process. I also believe Portsmouth, as the city of the open door, needs to use an app that has languages to everyone, as in the First Amendment in our Constitution, it does say freedom. There is no set language to the U.S., so that's why I believe WhatsApp to anyone from any language, as it is very easy to translate, and it also encourages people to learn different languages. I also do believe that currently Apple does have a monopoly on phone with iMessage, and I believe by moving to WhatsApp, we would be supporting anyone with any phone to get it. And I also do believe that Meta has great access to sensitive data and can clearly protect sensitive data with the Portsmouth government secrets. So I clearly think all Portsmouth government messages should be on WhatsApp.
Thank you, Assistant Mayor Bourne. Any others for discussion? All right, move to vote. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay.
Now move to Assistant Mayor Cotto.
Move to request city staff to implement an EMT training program at Portsmouth High School.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay. This would help the community in a way of having more people being able to respond to emergencies and situations, as well as preparing yourself for your future at a faster pace and at a younger age.
Any other discussion?
Councilor Laney.
Thank you, Your Honor. Although this is more of a school board matter, where would you see this fitting in its own course and within a medical course?
Like in the health department and also with Mr. Bruno's class.
As a certification?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. We're now going to move to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Councilor Hooper, you have one item this afternoon.
I move to request staff to provide a report back on the cost of financing a hockey rink and potential revenue with the hockey rink being placed in the band practice field behind Portsmouth High School.
Second.
Oh, can I? Personally, I would like to say that even though I do think having a hockey rink would be a great idea, I would prefer if there was amendable to discuss where we would exactly place the hockey field, because I believe that just saying we're going to take your band field is not the correct thing to do. So I would be in favor of saying amending this motion so we would actually discuss where the hockey rink would be put in place instead of taking a field that the band relies on along with many other sports to practice and enrich their opportunities.
Yes.
I had a few locations planned. I was thinking the band could either go in the fall, the baseball field, they take down the fence, and there's a big open area where they would be able to practice there, or they could practice at one of the JV fields at the high school, or if none of those were open, they could go to the high school parking lot or the community campus turf field.
All right, now I move to vote. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, now on to Councilor Munn.
I move that we spend an additional $10,000 per year on purchasing trees for public distribution because it is important to have trees in our community. The money would be spent on buying trees to give out to people to plant on their own land through our urban forestry program.
Second.
Any discussion? Councilor Laney.
Could you clarify what program this is going through? Is it a tree grant or is it a tree grant? Okay.
All right, we're going to move to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Councilor Delaney, it looks like you have two items this afternoon.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. My first motion, I move to direct the planning board to draft a zoning ordinance to restrict the Historic District Committee to buildings and properties older than 50 years. Can I get a second?
Second.
And then I have a few points for discussion. Recently, in a few years past, there were 4 projects around the north end of the city of Portsmouth where the HDC caused developers to design by committee, which led to an increase in cost up front, but more importantly, the HDC requires approval before every single project. And for large projects like said North End Designs, that period for approval takes 6 months up to a year, possibly even a year and a half to approve. This drives up cost, causing a need for more resources, and for the developers to make profit, they need to transform these once these once market rate rentals to $3 million high-end condos. This transformation from once market value apartments to high-end second homes is attributed to multiple factors. However, the standards that the HDC holds for new buildings, including architectural styles and roofing, exterior maintenance and woodwork, and windows and doors, all put hard guidelines on developers. These strict guidelines delay the building of these new properties, which in no case are historic, as defined by historic, being 50 years or older. And this process, quite frankly, doesn't make sense to me. It's very clearly negatively impacting the opportunities for housing here in the city of Portsmouth. I yield the rest of my time for this agenda item.
Any others for discussion?
Councilor McGrath.
I would like to agree with this, as removing the strict regulations on housing would allow for a lot more buildings to be more affordable, and especially in this town where the city relies a lot on income tax from the houses, and has pretty high levels of housing prices. It would benefit the citizens, and in addition to that, it would create more diversity in the buildings and with architectural design. An example of this could be with the Hearth building, which many have mixed opinions on, but I think the overall opinion is that it is a unique building that does add a lot to Portsmouth, with its artistic creativity that we don't often see with the strict regulations of the historical district committee.
Thank you, Councilor McGrath. Anyone else? All right, we're going to take a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All against? All right.
Yep. And your second motion? Second item.
Thank you, Your Honor. Before I start, I apologize. This is somewhat of a long motion. I move to direct the city manager to have the budget growth percentage submitted to the Charter Commission departments with a deadline of October 31st, whereas on election years with a newly elected council, have this number to the Charter Commission departments by January 15th, with scheduled joint work sessions with council and each board before February 15th. These workshops would occur during both election and non-election years.
Second.
And if you want discussion. It is very hard to have our commission boards try and formulate budgets for then us to give a percentage increase that we think is best fit for this year, this fiscal year, and have their budget already be somewhat completely formulated. So in this case, if we have the number to them by October 31st, before our November election time, they're able to work with that throughout the whole budget season, have a number to work with, and then formulate their budget from that as well to help guide them, as it is guidance. It is not a harsh number.
Thank you. Any more discussion? All right, move to vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Next, Councilor McGrath, you have one item this afternoon.
Yes. I motion to close off the Ceres Street with remote-controlled ballards in the months June through August during the weekends. This would allow for the street to become more walkable and provide better revenue for all of the restaurants and businesses on that street. These ballards would allow for emergency vehicles in case and shipment trucks to be able to get in, but wouldn't completely restrict it, as they have the right to drive on that street through the work week. In addition, these remote controls will be given to business owners and those who have apartments in that area so that they can completely access their properties.
Do we have a second?
Discussion?
I would also like to call up the fire chief at this time.
Thank you, everyone. In regard to adding the bollards, we need to make sure that the fire trucks and ambulances have access to enter and exit during emergencies. Also, we need to study and make sure the turning radiuses aren't impacted so fire and ambulance services can go in and out in an efficient manner.
Thank you. Councilor Hooper?
Forgive me if I'm thinking of the wrong street, but if the street I'm thinking of, is there not already a sidewalk on that street?
No, this would be from Izzy's the Creamery down to the end of the apartments on Market Street on the other side, the latter end of Ceres Street, where the tugboats come in. So there is a minimal sidewalk, but it is often walked in the middle of the street, and you will see pedestrians just completely walking the loop, so it would be nice to close it off.
But there is a sidewalk?
Yes.
City Manager Simpson?
I just want to make it known that retractable bollards, along with any other improvements implemented as part of the Market Street Master Plan, will be considered part of the governance modifications.
Councilor Laney?
To give a brief, what I think could be an answer to what the fire chief just brought up. From what I've seen with Ballards in foreign countries, they have sensors on the emergency vehicles that have the Ballards go down when they sense that those sensors are within, I think, a 30-foot radius. Those Ballards can go down so they can answer to emergencies in that case.
All right, thank you. We'll move into voting. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Councilor Raja, you have one item on this afternoon.
I think I already said that at the beginning with the.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, yes. Okay, so we actually already did that, so we're going to move to Councilor Dimitrik.
Move to request the city manager to report back on establishing affordable housing at the alumni Wentworth Field.
Second.
The alumni, so affordable housing is very necessary, and so it's hard to find places where we're going to get affordable housing, and this area is a great area because it is around a lot of job opportunities that are in walking distance, and it could be for the workforce, so it could give developers who make these houses or these apartments revenue by building more floors, and also give people who are under the 80% AMI more housing.
Any discussion? All right, we're going to move to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? And you had a second motion?
Yes, my second motion, similar to my first, the move to request city manager report back on establishing affordable housing outside of the alumni Wentworth Field. Same with the first, it still allows for the job opportunities and the win for the developers and the people living inside the apartments while also keeping the field.
Do you have a second?
Second.
So it's like I said before with the other one, it's makes developers, developers and the workforce have a fair trade off, while again also keeping the field. So very similar to my first.
Any other discussion or? Nope. All right, we're going to move to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Next up, we're going to talk about the approval of grants and donations.
First, donation from Portsmouth High School class of 2025, the creation of additional docks. Move to accept and approve the donation as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Next, the donation from the Portsmouth High School class of 2025 to the creation of a zip line from Portsmouth to Kittery on the Memorial Bridge. Yes, very exciting. So I move to accept and approve the donation as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
All right, now we'll move on to the city manager's informational items.
Please note that the farmers market is entering its 29th season, with opening day to be held on May 3rd, and the city manager will be at the city booth to welcome residents and answer any questions they may have.
Thank you.
All right, any miscellaneous items here?
Yes, so I actually have a rebroadcasting schedule, so thank you so much for your time here at the meeting. For those of you that want to rewatch the meeting, it will be rebroadcast Friday, March 28th at 5 p.m., Saturday, March 29th at noontime, Sunday, March 30th at noon, and Monday, March 31st at 5 p.m.
All right. I request a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Motion to adjourn this meeting.
All right. All in,
Second.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Meeting's adjourned.